let's have a quick conclusion here. The double pound sign here, this is represent to the global temporary table, and most of time we don't use it. It's hard to have a situation you have to use a global temporary table, and I search online and a lot of article, a lot of people, it's just hard to come out a scenario or a situation to use a global temporary table. But most of the time you will choose between the local temporary table and the table variable. Okay, but it you will choose between these two in your store procedure. It depends on the performance. Depends on you will do some loading tests. There are quick small guideline. If your data set is very small, it's quite small, you can use the table variable. The performance will be better because this is in memory, and you won't have any disk I/O. Of course, the memory, the page in, page out is another story. Then if you need to use index on your temporary table, or you have to use local temporary table, because the table variable won't allow you to create index on it. Okay, so the conclusion is, in most situation, local temporary table makes more sense. Okay, then the next thing is this point is kind of like unrelated, but in the store procedure, try to avoid to use cursor, because the cursor performance is very bad. And of course you can have some way to use local temporary table to replace the cursor. There is some other way you can use to replace the cursor if you really want to use this functionality. Okay, then there is another situation you want to use temporary table in your store procedure. If you have very large table, for example 2-3 tables, you want to do a join, and you have, of course you will have some condition for these tables. For example, you want to do a join for these 3 large table, and you want to have some where clause. For example, you want to have some criteria that is in a certain time period or some condition. You can try to use temporary table to select the result set for each of 3 large tables, then do join on these 3 temporary tables. The performance could be better. I will say could be, because it depends on your environment. You have to do some test and do some some performance tests. Then you will know which one is better. You want to do a join directly, or you want to select the subset of the large table into a temporary table, maybe create index on each of them, then do a join. It all depends on the situation, your hardware, your database setting, something like that. Okay, then the next guideline is, try not to use select into statement to create a temporary table. Okay, directly. Okay, so till here, any questions? Okay, then I have some example here. Okay, this example is our unit first report example. In this report, what we want to have is we have pieces and the hours. Then you can see there are 2 different kind of. Actually, these data are come from the same table. but there are two different periods. This is months. This part is months, and this part is year to date. That means, for example, if this month is April, then this data is a summary of April's data. Then this data is start from January to April, the end of April, the summary of the year-to-date data. So for this kind of data, we want to, because for report we want to, have a SQL statement and select out and throw into the report file, and the report file can directly display it. That will be the best situation. So what we can do is we can use temporary table to accomplish this. Okay, this is the example. Okay, basically here in this store procedure, we create a temporary table here. Then we create exactly the each column, define the schema as a column on our report. Okay, then the first insert, we try to retrieve the initial regions information, the locations information, then works area code, of course. Then what we do is what we did here is we just do a summation in this period, in this month period. Okay. Then we leave the 0 for these two columns, the year-to-date column. Okay. Then the next two SQL statement, we use update. Then we calculate the year-to-date summary, and we update these two columns. Then after these two update, we will have a complete data set for this report. So we directly select from this temporary table. Then you can have all of your data ready for your report, just like this one. Okay, this is one example. You can use temporary table. Okay, the temporary table can create whatever you want. Then you put the data in there. Then you select from there. And you don't have to manipulate your data in the report file or in your some other code. You can manipulate your data directly in the database. The performance will be better. Okay. Then, of course, you can have some other way. You don't have to use temporary table actually. The performance may be better. And there is another SQL statement you can look. You can see here. Basically, I create a big SQL statement here. Then I use case. I put everything together into one SQL statement, and I select the date range. The date range is the start date of the year, then the end date of maybe today. Then I use case to filter out if the data is between is in this month. Then I calculate, I do a summation on for this column for this month's data. Okay, then you don't have to use temporary table. Okay, so there are different ways you can prepare your data in the database in your SQL in your store procedure. It all depends on the performance. Okay.